Global Touring Cars make their way back to the home of the Extreme Festival for their next round of the championship. And what a spectacular championship we've seen so far. The GTCs and GTC SupaCup brigade are back at Zwartkops for more entertainment. And the entertainment comes in the form of a big fight for the GTC Championship, and an even bigger one with some nice drivers and some new drivers joining the GTC SupaCup category this weekend. Saud Variawa, though, maintains his dominant force at the front end of the GTC side of things, and Brad Liebenberg does the same thing, with those two drivers getting pole positions and the Dunlop Awards. Tata Carella is certainly no sucker with that Chupa Chups Locatelli-styled helmet. He'll be looking to fight it out with the two Diaz boys and with Keegan Campos in the Global Touring Car SupaCup category. As they come to the line, Variawa and Volk are on the front row, Msimanga and Van Rooyen the second, and LaRue and Rackstraw will be the third row for GTCs. In the SupaCup class, it is Brad Liebenberg who leads out of Arnie Neveling. Machotsi ahead of Dominic Diaz, his best finish. Keegan Campos and JP van der Walt on the third row. Carello, Bishop, Diaz, Vanica, Luti and Cara Hill at the back. Robert Volk will be looking to try and get to the front end and outgun the three Gazoo Racing Corollas at the front end of this field, but it's not going to be an easy day in the saddle, that is for sure. The two Auruses are on basically first and third, and the Corollas are 1 and 2 as they go across and the lights go out for Global Touring Cars. First race of the day. Robert Volk trying to use that inside line to his advantage. Can he do it? Variawa's got him on the outside. Can he try and keep him at bay? No, he can't. Brad Liebenberg about to bring the pack of GTC SupaCup contenders down towards turn 1. Look at Dominic Diaz already starting to pull out, trying to find a way through there as they go down in towards turn 1. Turn 2 now for Global Touring Cars, and a bit of a touch. Variawa coming very up close and personal there with Robert Volk as they came out of turn 2. Definitely a big tag between the two of them. GTC SupaCup goes into turn 2 now as well. And you can see they're all just starting to sort out. They're side by side. Arnie Neveling's on the inside as we see Volk and Variawa absolutely wing mirror to wing mirror going into turn 4. Watching in the background as Josh LaRue tries to close things down there on the back end of Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen just squeezes out his teammate as they come under braking. Variawa's got the inside line. Can he hang on to it as they come out of turn 5? Turn 4 is where the action is for GTC SupaCup. Oh, and there's action at the top end of the field though. Robert Volk gets spun out, and looks like there might have been a tag there between himself and Variawa. Variawa and Volk coming together. Volk is now going to have to wait until the entire pack of Global Touring Car SupaCup cars go through. We go on board here with Arnie Neveling. He's behind Jonathan Machotsi, who squeezed him out coming out of turn 4 up towards 5. Neveling trying to come back here in the Goscor and Stradale Motorsport machine. It's a genuine parts Volkswagen on the inside, looking to try and stay in second place behind the hard-charging, hype energy machine of Brad Liebenberg. He leads out as they complete lap number 1. Look at that, a steam train of GTC SupaCup cars going down into turn 1. What a shot there from the rear end, and you can see they all come through there absolutely lit. Young lady driver at the back there, Miss Hill, is doing a superb job in her debut. It's Gazoo Racing 1, 2 and 3 now that the demise of Robert Volk has happened, but Msimanga is the meat and the sandwich between the two new Auruses. Whoa! Problems there for LaRue. He's just run out of talent into turn 4 there big time. Just got on the brakes way too late and slipped out onto the dirty stuff. So this is a formation flying right in front of Gazoo Racing at the top of the hill. Looks like it's going to be a formation flying finish here for these three cars. Who's going to have what it takes to be at the top end? And are we going to see Michael Van Rooyen get through there on his teammate, Nazi Msimanga? We'll have to wait and see. Msimanga at this stage hangs on. He's got massive pressure coming from Van Rooyen. They come across the line. It's incredible to think. I don't think Nazi Msimanga has only been into this car now for its 6th time in anger. There you see it. Robert Volk just looped out coming on that replay and ended up on the grass. Let's go back to what's happening here in the GTC SupaCup class. The two Diaz boys are fighting it out there. Looks like Tata Carella's joined the party along with JP van der Walt. And there's a non-stop battle there behind Keegan Campos, who's sitting in 4th place. He's kind of on his own sim right now. The two Diaz boys, as I said, van der Walt. And then as they come through there in the background, Tata Carella. Look out as well for Tate Bishop. Tate Bishop's had an absolute nightmare of a return to Zwartkops. The angry car has not had it go his own way. But Paul Luti, a welcome return for the Scotsman, is now just ahead of him. So the man from Scotland fights it out from the man from Cape Town, and then Cara Hill right on his tail, looking for a way to try and squeeze through there and give Tate a run for his money. She's had a busy day in the saddle, not only doing duties here, but also in the Gazoo Cup. So there's lots of race action that's got to come from Hill's point of view. But the Calix car right now in 12th place, but doing a super job for her debut in the GTC SupaCup category. JP van der Walt trying to close things down now on the two Diaz boys. And just behind that, you can see lining up is Donnie van Niekerk, who also makes a welcome return into GTC SupaCup. They battled a little bit with the budget, but they found some money to go playing with, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to need to do. As Luti now comes side by side with his Cape Town contender on the outside there, the angry car of Tate Bishop, and he's getting even angrier. and he makes a small mistake. That's how bad it is. You cannot afford to make a mistake in the GTC Super Cup. That'll be costly, and it is. He drops right to the back of the pack now, and the Calyx car moves up into 11th place. Tate going to try and come back at hill, down into the breaking point for turn 8. Easily done in the end. Showing maybe a little bit more seasoned campaigning there from Tate Bishop's point of view. At the front end, superb run so far from that man out front, Saud Variawa. But Variawa could be in a bit of trouble for that incident between himself and Robert Volk. We'll have to wait and see if that's going to be the case at the end of this one. He might just be under the scrutiny of the COC as they're coming into the closing stages. As they come out of turn 5 and 6, he heads into turn 7 right on Hill's tail. Is he going to get past Hill, or is she going to hang on? No, she allows the door wide open, and coming to the checkered flag, Saud Variawa was going to take the victory, but he's going to get a penalty, and it's going to drop him down 2 positions. And that's not what Saud Variawa wanted, with the checkered flag coming out. Across the line, that'll give Mnatium Samanga possibly the victory for race number 1 ahead of Michael van Rooyen. Michael van Rooyen is going to come through there just ahead of Robert Volk, who should have finished up the race behind the 3 Toyota Gazoo racing machines. Coming down to the line though for GTC Super Cup, here comes Brad Liebenberg for the victory. Jonathan Makhotzi's right on his tail. A little bit further back is Arnie Neveling. Nice fight between those 3, and I think we're going to see more of the same in the second heat. Keegan Campos will definitely be looking to turn his luck around. There is official results. Robert Volk being gifted back second place after being taken out at the top of the hill. Michael van Rooyen finishes up in 3rd place in GTC Super Cup. It's Liebenberg from Makhotzi and Neveling, Campos from Diaz, and then Donnie van Niekerk beating out Carello, Luti, and Cara Hill. Let's catch up now with Saud Variawa from Gazoo Racing.
I started from first. I lost the lead actually in turn 1, but got it back on the exit of 2, and we had a nice battle up until turn 5, and then I just got the lead and pushed from there. Also, the team did an awesome job getting the car quick, keeping it as quick. But also Nati and Michael did an awesome job finishing 2nd and 3rd. It was a good team effort.
Brad Liebenberg wins out GTC Super Cup for race 1.
I had a little bit of a wonky start there. I made a mistake out of 2, just lost the rear on the apex, and Jono managed to squeeze up the inside there. And then, yeah, we door slipped each other all the way to 4. He ran a little bit deep, which gave me the opportunity to undercut him back up to 5. And yeah, from there, I just kind of put my head down, tried to push a little bit in the beginning, and while the tyres were still good, just build a little bit of a gap. And then, yeah, from there, just maintain that and manage the tyres till the end. Obviously, we've got a longer race too than what we usually have for the second race. So, yeah, like I say, just got to manage it, and again, starting from pole, so hopefully we can do more of the same and come out on top.
Welcome back to Extreme Festival action here at Zwartkops, and more action now coming from the GTCs and GTC Super Cup Brigade. But just before that, a bit of drifting demonstrations, and it's great to have Super Drift back at their home after 10 years of absence, giving the crowd a big thrill in the lunch break. From the thrills of drifting, we go into the thrills of global touring cars, and some final adjustments being made to a couple of cars to ensure that they are ready to go for race number 2. Everyone will definitely be looking to turn his luck around and hopefully beat out Makhotzi and Liebenberg in the GTC Super Cup category. And let's see what's going to happen now after that penalty was incurred by Saud Variawa in race number 1. Big turnaround expected there from Josh LaRue after he made a big mistake. And look out for Robert Volk, he'll be hungry now that he's on the front row for race number 2. Let's see if the SK man can stay at the front end and hopefully keep out the Gazoo Racing boys. He can't. Van Rooyen sneaks through into turn 1. Brilliant start there from the Rustenburg Rocket as he dives on the inside there and squeezes out Robert Volk into the clutches of his teammate, Saud Variawa. LaRue's round the outside as we wait for the GTC Super Cup Brigade lights to go out. Let's see who's going to have what it takes now on the acceleration point. They were held back there big time, and Brad was trying to catch them all out, but Makhotzi seems to have caught Brad out as they head towards turn number 2. Is Brad going to have what it takes to get onto the brakes first? Yes, he is. And Arnie Neveling's going to follow through. Keegan Campos, unfortunately, couldn't get onto the inside line because Diaz was on that inside line, and he couldn't follow through on Arnie Neveling's line. At the front end of Global Touring Cars, yet again, it's a Gazoo Racing formation flying as they just sandwich all the rest of the competitors, including Robert Volk and Josh LaRue. LaRue just losing ground there in the Audi, but Robert Volk definitely looking to close things down now on the back end of Michael van Rooyen. Van Rooyen definitely wants to get a victory in the new car as he pushes hard down towards turn 1. Brad getting away slightly there from Arnie Neveling in second place now, ahead of Makhotzi. So a bit of a turnaround there from the top 3 in race number 1. Still Keegan Campos there in 4th place. Diaz right on his tail, looking for a way through. And in the background, Tata Carello seems to be the meat in the sandwich between the two Diaz boys. In fact, he's the meat in the sandwich, including JP van der Walt. JP van der Walt in the Platinum Wheels car has had a much better start this time and applying huge pressure onto that Carrera Auto machine of Tato's. As they come through there, it looks like, yeah, a little bit of problems there for Calvin. He's dropped slightly back and he's tucked in behind, or he's actually also just in between the two teammates there of Donnie van Niekerk and Paul Luthi. So the Chemi car's got some work to do. Speaking of work to be done, well, it looks like the work is being done here by Salwat Variawa as he closes in on Robert Volk. Volk under big pressure there from Variawa to try and take his championship away. Remember, it was so close between those two drivers for the 2022 championship, and it's remaining as close here for 2023. But Variawa has a slight advantage over Volk at this point in time. Let's see if he can get that advantage to be more of his as they come towards turn 4. On the tailpiece there is Natim Samanga and pulling away ever so slightly from the lone Audi. Unfortunately, we didn't get Andrew Rackstraw out at all this weekend, which is a big, big pity there for the Lee Thompson Racing Golf. Hopefully we'll be back and running by the time we get to Gqeberha. Come through turn 5, into turn 6, now through turn 7. A little flick to the left-hand side, down the hill, and Van Rooyen opening up a little bit of a margin. There's about a car length or so of breathing room between himself and Robert Volk now as they get to the halfway stage. Brilliant race action here at the front end from Global Touring Cars' point of view. But it's equidistant apart now between those first 4. Now Team Samanga, well, we've heard from all 3 of the Gazoo Racing stable drivers that they are very happy with the new cars, but Msamanga is loving life in that old Corolla. Further back in the Global Touring Car SupaCup category, yet again Carello, and it's a Volt on the outside. JP being forced wide there by Tato. Tato looking to try and come back at him, and now has the door firmly shut on JP's point of view. Joining that point of view is Tate Bishop and Calvin Diaz. Diaz with a bit of bodywork flying off there, so he must have been done some rubbing earlier on in the lap. As I said, the first couple of cars equidistant apart, but this pack is starting to get heated. And Carello will be watching those rearview mirrors and seeing the issue that's happening behind him. Paul Luthi looking for a way through. The Scotsman is putting on some big pressure there, looking for a way. No, in fact, that's Van Niekerk. I beg your pardon, it's Donnie van Niekerk side by side now with Diaz as they go to the top of the hill. Luthi just behind that, but non-stop action. Oh, and a little help out there from JP. He forces Tata Carello into a mistake, who spins out straight into Calvin Diaz's point of view. So there's a big crash there between the two of them, and safety car has been deployed. Oh, that's such a pity. They were having such an epic battle there, those 4 cars. Calvin's out the car, he's not happy, and the Chemi car, unfortunately, is on the sideline. They're all out of the same stable, so they're going to have a little chat with each other, I'm sure, after the race. But Tato just got helped out ever so slightly, spun out, and there was nowhere to go for Calvin. On the restart, it's Michael van Rooyen getting the drop. Can he get away now and hang on for the last couple of laps to keep out Volk? We're on board with Robert Volk as they go through turn number 1. Have a look at this. Just a little lift, not a huge amount, and then it's back on the loud pedal all the way down the gearbox, possibly down into second gear as they go to turn 2, sometimes even into first, depending on the gear ratios of the car. And behind that, this is a fantastic flying finish here, because all the cars now are bumped up together again, and it's the Platinum Wheels machine there looking for a way through, and JP van der Walt hasn't found one just yet there on Dominic Diaz. Onto the back straight away, the hype car getting away of Brad Liebenberg, ahead of the Goskor car of Neveling. And it's the genuine parts machine of Machotsi. A little bit of a change up, as I said, in terms of the proceedings there for 2 and 3 in the pack after race number 1. But Keegan Campos maintains 4th place. He hasn't quite had the weekend that I expected from him. Not quite sure what went wrong there with Keegs, but hopefully he'll be back up and running at a circuit he loves in Gqeberha. So the Goskor car and Strade Motorsport machine has not had an answer there to the hype energy car of Brad Liebenberg. And Nathan's Motorsport have done an amazing job to give Brad a car that is going to possibly be unbeaten this weekend. He was quickest in almost every single session of the weekend, and then of course put it onto pole position to get that Dunlop award. And the Dunlop tyres now are just crying out to get to the end of these races. At the front end of GTCs, it is Michael van Rooyen looking for his first win in the new car. And that'll be a real nice turnaround for him as he comes to the checkered flag now. It's going to be an awesome effort from Gazoo Racing. Literally, they finished 1, 2, and 3 in the first race. They're going to finish 1, 3, and 4 in the second one, with Robert Volk spoiling the party there ever so slightly in between the 2 new Auruses at the front. Coming down the hill for the final time, the Rustenburg Rocket has got race 2 in the bag. The flag's out, and that's how you do it at Global Touring Cars at Zwartkops. Van Rooyen takes the victory over Volk. Volk wins out over Variawa, and right behind him was Msamanga. GTC SupaCup Brad Liebenberg's going to make it 2 out of 2 for the Hype Energy car. He wins out, change up for second place. It's a great effort there from Neveling, beating out Machotsi for third, and then a super run from Campos, beating out Diaz and Tate Bishop. His official results: Michael van Rooyen, Volk, Variawa, Msamanga, and Josh LaRue, your top 5 in GTCs. In GTC SupaCup, Liebenberg, Neveling, Machotsi, Campos, Diaz, Tate Bishop moving up to 6th place as JP van der Walt was given a penalty, drops down to 9th. and that was not the way he wanted to end his weekend. Good debut for Cara Hill to finish up in 10th place, but let's catch up now with overall winner in GTC's Robert Volk.
We struggled yesterday, obviously. We just lost out on pole today. Obviously had the whole shot into turn 1 in the first race and got tagged into the second corner, which is unnecessary, and put me out of position going up to turn 5, and Michael just speared me on the exit of turn 5, and that was my race, unfortunately. Race 2, oil on the outside of 1, so a bit hesitant to try hang it out the outside. Just didn't seem to have the pace, I guess, in race 2. Michael seemed to just stay just a bit ahead, didn't really challenge him, so overall decent balance, just didn't have the outright pace, unfortunately. So we'll carry on chipping away, and we'll be at the next race, and I'm sure we'll be more competitive.
Race 2 was all about Michael van Rooyen and the Rustenburg Rocket.
So I needed it. I think we had great pace on Friday, and unfortunately I couldn't capitalize in quali and made my life difficult in race 1. I just couldn't get past Nati. It's a very difficult track to overtake, and I needed to make up in race 2, which I luckily did. I could get past Robbie in turn 1, luckily, and I could manage the lead from there. It was quite a fast-paced race, I must say. The track was very fast, and the pace was very, very fast right up to the end. But yes, very tough to get away with a win.
Overall winner and double victor, it's Brad Limburg for GTC SupaCup.
Happy with that. We look forward to PE. Like I say, we need more of the same. After Kailami, it set me back quite far back, and I was just eking out that gap the whole time and eating it up. And lights to flag victory. Couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier with a full round of points, like I said. So again, we look forward to the next one.
Celebrations on the podium there for Natim Samanga. He's pretty happy. Kazoo lock out that GTC podium though. Fantastic effort from Saud Varioa, Michael van Rooyen and Natim Samanga. It's Brad Limburg beats out Arnie Neveling and Jonathan Mahotsi in Global Touring Cars SupaCup. Championship looks like this heading to the next round. It is Saud Varioa on 80 points, 9 points ahead of Robert Volk, and he'll be looking to try and close that down. Natim Samanga moves himself up into third place on 65. In the GTC SuperCups, it's the top 3 that are split by 9 points, but Keegan Campos, incredibly, still at the top, ahead of Liebenberg and Mahotsi. Another spectacular day's worth of racing here at Zwartkops, the International World of Motoring. And we look forward to the next round of the Extreme Festival Nationals. That's on the 17th of June at Aldous Grabanti in the friendly city of Quebec. We'll be there to bring you all the action. All this National Extreme Festival action is proudly brought to you by Comcare Medical Scheme, Dunlop Tires, Ferodo, the #1 in brakes, and Investkin.